Oh, welcome back. We got some rain. I know we're well over an inch of it. This is gonna make for interesting corral cleaning. It's gonna make for interesting everything. My gosh. Well, I'm sure glad I didn't shut down the lagoon pump, because I'm sure there's probably a bunch back in there. But so we're gonna get about getting some feeding done, and then we'll see how corral cleaning goes. Thanks for clicking on the video, and let's get on with the show. So there we go. So the crappy straw hay in the bottom, and then you see the bright green on the top. That's number one. So we got that would be technically number 4 and number 1. It's Beauty. Tell that ski ramp anywhere. So I'll stop here. Oh. Yeah, you know what time of year it is? That's that time. Hello, babies. So like, as you can see, there's lots still here, but just as the temperature is dropping, and we don't want the calves to slide at all. Hey Squishy. Hey MJ. Hey Squishy. How you doing, girl? Because we will be weaning. We will be weaning in a month from now. It's technically our time is the second week in November. We'll wean. I know it's pretty late for a lot of people, but there's Dardius. Because we are pushing 600 pound on a lot of the calves. Alexis there, she the one, the dark red right there, she stays though. I know it sucks. She's such a big heifer. But she comes from royalty. Like there, you can see the mum's not coming up to eat. And this is number 1. Hey, this is this year's number 1. It's actually the reason I'm using number 1 this year. Yeah, I know my camera needs cleaned. Don't want to poke you in the eye. The reason that I'm not... Oh, there's neighbor watching me film. The reason I'm using the number 1 2025 is because they were badly wrapped. So I want to get them used up before we get into using some of the last year's number 1. Hey, wee mama. There's Silver. Yeah, like I said, they're not daft, they're not hurting. Just like to start boosting them up, and then that way the calves are on a really good diet of hay before we wean them off mum. But once these calves come off of mum, they'll go on to this number 1. So the difference between this number 1 and the other fields is this number 1 is third grass. 3rd to 50% grass and alfalfa, which is a lot easier on little calves' digestive systems, especially once they're weaned. Yeah, that's Alexis right there. So she stays. She's off Punisher, wherever Punisher is. Right there with the skull markings on her face. So I'm gonna slide my way back. Here's Lilith! I'll slide my way back to the farm. These guys are chewing and chewing. Going. Where were you in August? September? Huh? Where are you? Absolutely soaking. We've had about an inch of rain today already. Honest to gosh. Howdy. day. Do you think it looks wetter? Do you think? You think it's possible that it's wetter? It is wetter. How wetter can wet get? That's us approaching 1.5 inches of rain in the last 48 hours. We'll go with that. Well, 1.5 days, but... So yeah. Talking about Mother Nature. Getting the timings wrong, maybe the best way to put it. Now you'd be like, oh, Piper Doug, the moisture's in the ground, it's there for next year. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of canola, corn still out in the ground. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are pretty stressed. Now, yes, I don't have any crop out in the ground. Well, I do actually. I have a field of third cut that would be nice to start laying down here once I'm done spreading poop. But not near as stressed as these people are. But then again, you know, some people could have got the crops in a little bit earlier. Apart from corn, there's nothing you can do with corn. But it is making for a problem getting stuff done. So trying to get the corrals cleaned out, getting in and out of the yard with the spreader without causing too much destruction, not getting stuck. But then there's the big thing is when we get to freeze up, we're gonna have to watch out for getting all these ruts and stuff all leveled out, because that'll be an absolute pain in the bum all winter long dealing with frozen ruts. So we're probably going to run the lagoon pump for a while again, because it'll be filling up. So today I'm going to finish that middle pen, then I'm going to shut down and clean out the spreader, because the spreader is leaving this evening. My builder is borrowing the spreader for the weekend so he can spread his poop and his mum and dad's cattle farm's poop. Somebody's been up here in a truck. Which is what happened last year, that they borrowed the poop spreader. And I know my builder, I know his mum and dad, well I know his mum, but his dad is the one that they bought our old silage chopper. Good folks, so anytime I can horse trade something of equal value, so they borrow our poop spreader for a couple of days, and that translates into he can do some building work for me. So he's got some stuff he's coming to do for me already from last year's, but this will be some more added, because we've still got lots of building to do. So that's, like I said, I'm happy with that, and I trust them to look after the equipment. It's not like they're gonna throw a bunch of rocks through my poop spreader and wreck it. So anyway, I'm gonna slide my way down here. We'll bring you back when we get to the girls. Yeah, they are not happy. I don't know if they figure I can turn the rain off or what they're wanting. Anyway, sure nobody's behind the tractor. So, like, this was yesterday's stuff. So you see they kind of picked through it. And yeah, they've left a lot of number 1 as well as the number 3 and number 4 stuff. So it starts off looking like that, like it's kind of one row, and then they come back and sort of pick through it and lay on it and do whatever. And Laura will be asking why I'm putting all the way down here. Well, this is very light land down here, so as well for this stuff to be left here, they can pick through it, they can do whatever they want with it, and then it'll end up being biomatter to build up the soil down here. Uh-oh. Yeah. I am gonna make my way out of here and leave them to it. Most of them are chewing away, the rest of them are just miserable. Like I said, a lot of it you see here is just some of that old hay, but You can see some of the better hay just kind of dragged out, but that's a lot of that straw and whatnot. But yeah, they'll go and eat. Like I said, they're just happy because of cold. As you can see, it's still raining, and it's, like I said, 1.5 inches of rain so far. Probably in the next week. The temperatures are looking actually to climb a little bit up again. They call it an Indian summer. I'm not sure you're not allowed to call it that anymore. But that's what the natives call it. The natives call it an Indian summer, so I'll call it what they call it. So, there's one thing you know about prairie life, you have what's called the Indian summer. So it'll get cold, and then it'll get warm again for a little while. And then the winter will either roll in, or it'll hit you like a Peterbilt on the highway, and drop about 1 foot of snow on you. So, like I said, we'll move them closer to the yard when we feel that coming in. You can see all the alfalfa dead. So that'll be when I want to get that third cut stuff done, if I'm doing it. Once it's dead standing, because then, I've talked about this before, where you can bale it and freeze it in the bales. That way, even if it is high moisture, it's frozen in the bales, so it makes really, really good food. So, I'm gonna slide my way back up to the farm, try and get that middle pen finished, poop spreading, and then cut all the twine out of it, ready for Jeremy. I tell you, the one thing over our 5-year plan, so this is year 4 of our 5-year plan. Next year, you'll see a lot of big wrap-up projects happening. Is getting these fences done. It's made a huge difference to keeping the animals down here to get everything cleaned up, versus when the animals were not happy about cleaning up the fields, they would just walk out through the fences. So anyway, time to go. Don't think I'm being chased, so that's good. Yeah, and there's all this stuff to get done next year, so we'll probably do a bit more of that next year. We'll haul it down here and stockpile it. So anyway, rabbiting. Spend all that time putting food out for them. Where are they? Up by the yard. I'll never figure women out. Never. Some days you wonder. Why do we have them? You wonder, honestly. So, y'all saw me feed them there. And as soon as I was back up in the yard, so were they. So they've been walking around in that paddock, bald paddock, away from where the hay I just laid out. And then I found little Freddy, the escape artist, squeezing under a fence along there by those bales, nibbling grass. And now they're back down there. Meanwhile, number 1 hay is laid out in the ground there. So please explain to me why cows will walk away from very good hay just to drive the farmer's anxiety through the roof. Is it a thing? Is everybody else's cows like that, where they just like to mess with the rancher? So I'm closing this up because I won't be back in here now, and then we're gonna move the girls once they're done down here tonight. We'll move them back north, and then probably just run them in the ravines and then into the paddocks there and here. Well, I may just need a change of scenery, I think. I don't know. I'm just guessing, guys. It's gonna be nice to get them buggers in. Make some nice big tall windbreaks. Yeah. Everyone's been mad at me. spreader beaters are cleaned off and the grab is chucked in the back as per Jeremy wanted, because he can figure he can get it out. So I'd just like to take this time to notice all the south pens are done, the biggest pen, the middle pen are done, and then it's just this west pens to do, and then any cleanup, and that is it. Now probably 10-15% of that is actually mud, but there you go. That goes to show you how much the bale processor catches if you keep it clean. That's all you end up getting out of the bedding. So, whew. Anyway, watch out. We're on a secret mission. Don't tell anybody. I'm redirecting the crossroads. I'm just going to show you something. Try not to get the cow's attention too much. But you all saw how dry this creek was for most of the summer. Take a gander at that. Literally everything full. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, hopefully you can hear me. Lots of grass here. So why am I moving them? Well, there's still a lot of work to do to update. There's 20 years of improvements that me and the boss lady are trying to get caught up on in this 5-year business plan. So one of these fancies are all in it. So up here there's a back road into the farmyard. It still has the old Cambridge wire, and it's not great. We've fixed it up as much as we can, but it's to be torn down and redone. Well, I caught one of the cows trying to climb under it. Here, look here. Lots of grass. So, cows will be cows. The inmates will always try and cause havoc. She's windy. So, as you can see, there's not a lot left in there. There's a lot more range in here, and they haven't been in that field for a while. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to let them run north and south on the ravines. The paddocks 5 and 6, they haven't been in there for a while. So we're not going to let them have that right away, but we'll let them run north and south. But instead of feeding the bales down here on the hilltop, we're going to move back into, because here there's lots of areas that can do with the extra biomatter put into the soil. Yeah, see, this is the old boundary fence, which was way off, and then this is the fence I put up 3 years ago? 2 years ago? 3 years ago. So I still have to do the dip-to-do fence at the bottom. So this will be the permanent boundary, because this is actually on a quarter section. I don't know why that fence ended up over there. Oh no, we did. We made an alleyway here, because there's the other old fence there, center of the screen. So it was all over the shop. But there's a lot of rocks in here, so it's hard to put a fence in. But as you can see, there's a lot of nibbles out here. Had a hard time getting that fence up over the piles there, but it's working. So yeah, this is still to finish off. So that'll be next year when we start getting into these other fences. But the big boundary fence over there, so in the next week or two, we'll be over there measuring to put a quote to the municipality. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Back out of the wind. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, I'm moving them back in there. Now, had a really good chat with the boss lady at coffee this morning. As you all know, Piper Doug does not work mornings. Piper Doug has mobility problems first thing in the morning because of his spine. So it takes me most of the morning to get mobility in my extremities because I don't sleep well due to nerve spine issues. Blah blah blah. But what the conversation was inevitably about was 1 year ago today, I ended up in the hospital. I drove myself to the ER because Piper Doug was not in a good place. Piper Doug was pretty messed up. So we were sort of reflecting on the road so far to healing due to vitamin deficiency and mental health and physical ability and all that good stuff. So yeah, we've come a long way, a hot minute long way. Because this, as you all know, this is not an easy job. But it's one of the most rewarding jobs you could ever have. And by saying jobs, I don't do it justice. I mean ways of life. It is one of the most rewarding ways of life. And yes, on the down days, you could pack the whole lot and sell it for the highest bidder. And don't get me started on politics and what they did to the market this week. Yeah, that's a whole other conversation. Oh, Trumpity Trump, Trump, Trump. But we are getting there. All the improvements to the, not just the farm, but to me. The boss lady, she found some video footage of us sorting the first cab crop we sold in 2003. And that's a lot more people don't realize this yard has only been up and working since 2002. We got cows at the end of 2001, I think it was, 2002. So we were putting this all together over the last 22 years, 23 years. So it's been bit by bit by bit whilst running a grain farm. So the pen closest to us in the, which is the steers pen, I've got video footage. So at some point we're going to do a little history footage video. This video would end up being way too long to do all in one, so we'll do a special one. But basically that corral closest to us, that blue can arm water trough, yeah, that's the site of our very first cab sorting, and oh my gosh, what a circus. Anyway, I'm gonna go get the tractor, get the bales, and we will get about our day. I'm looking at all this lovely foliage that I could be cutting. I thought if it was dry enough after this weather, once it was starting to freeze, die, we could get it cut. But the ground is so sopping wet that would just mess up the disc bind header, so I'm almost certain we're done doing hay for the year. So anyway, take it about, let's go. I'm gonna do some sketchy stuff. Do-da, do-da. Hope I get away with it. Oh, the do-da day. Oh, the do-da day. Holy moly, the clutch on this tractor is not conducive to smooth. And it jumped out of gear. Doing stuff. I tried to center on the top stack because I can't get the stacks apart because the spikes on this thing are not the straightest. I'm trying to get a balance, but here is one of the big reasons why it's nice to have a double bale spike spear guy. It's because this tin for the roof of these shelters is rather long. And yes, I probably shouldn't be filming while I'm doing this because it's mega sketch, but it wouldn't be Wreck-It Wrench without some gonna do some sketchy stuff. Yeah, and why am I not feeding the cows right now? Well, the cows are happy, so I'm not gonna bug them. So the problem with, oh, jump. Problem with those bales, I put them the wrong way up because I didn't think they'd be sitting there that long, so they're kind of damp and smudgy. So I've got these ones sitting the right way. So I'm gonna move these ones all back because there's supposed to be a fence going in here. Gotta get all these bales moved and then we can bring our windbreak in. It takes me so long to tell you this, I could have probably done half the job by now. Anyway, I'm gonna keep doing this bring you back when something explodes. Welcome to Second Spring 2025. Hey, Pop. Yeah. The old lagoon's filling back up. Yeah. Fun. Oh, look, there's tracks. It looks like I've been down here before. Just have. So when you drive all the way out here and the cows are coming to meet you and you're about to put down 2 lovely hay bales and you turn it on and you shear the effing shear bolt a mile from home, you got to turn and burn and get out of here to replace the shear bolt. Well, the cows who are waiting on said hay are looking at you like, where are you going? Can we come? Yeah. That's how Saturday is going. So, I'm hoping they're going to be nice to me and let me put this down without them taking off. So we'll see. I'm going to let this out and then we'll bring you back. So I don't know why we had that issue yesterday. The inmates, as I like to call them. They're the best inmates in the world. I could sell them tomorrow, but they're my inmates and I love them dearly. Yeah, I don't know why. That's literally the same hay. Actually, you know what? The funny part. This is number 1 2024. The stuff I gave them down there was number 1 2025. So figure that one out. Now I get it. Straw ages over a year, so maybe the hay is the same way. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, they walked away and left it. Now, they've been eating it last night and this morning because they moved up north. Moved up south, I mean. So now, this is what they're supposed to be doing. Now, this is, for those who don't know, this is our winter feeding site. The yard is right there. The dugout is right there. So we will just move them around here. So what I've got to do now is I've got to go and switch the power on the south end of the farm and split it back to 50-50. And then hook this fence back to the north dam field, because right now the north dam field is being fed off of the west. So I gotta go do that, and I see Liam has showed up to help his old dad. So these girls look happy as pigs in poo. Oh, there's Mrs. Piper Dugsby girl, little Scrappy Doo. Yeah. So I have to go move the powers, and then I can take this apart, fill this with fuel, and then Liam is gonna go move bales for his old daddy. Daddy, I gotta do this. Do the out, daddy. Okay, let's go. For all your Dodge Ram needs, Woodworth Dodge. That's where I was just picking up these little clips for my new tail lights, because the clips that came with the tail lights were garbage. Oh, a new play park for the kiddies. Nice addition. Very fancy. So yeah, these things are $5 a piece. Yeah. Oh, there's Big Dennis. That's the guy that does all my fixing. He's the wizard of the torque wrench. Wrenching up torques. There's old neighbors, Cannon Odes. Cannon Ode's house. Lovely big house that built by a doctor. And I don't know whose this place is. Caldwell's used to live there. Big fancy place. So yeah, bit of an overcast day, but let's get back. I got myself some new boots. Someday these builds are finished and they'll be nice and tidy back here. Always seems like I need 2 of me. So I pulled that bale feeder off. Couldn't get that bale to move. It just fell apart. There's a problem with not having a grapple. So Swear I miss that blue turd that we used to have. So the boys have access into here, and because this wall here is not being fixed and it's in pretty bad shape, I'll put a picture in here. So, nice handy thing about that continuous rail is I can bolster that wall to the point where it shouldn't be going anywhere, and these bulls can't get in too much trouble, fingers crossed. So I gotta start moving these bales off of here, because they're going to be replaced with the canola straw, because they're bigger and they'll last longer, and then also because of this. They're leaning on the wall and they're actually starting to push the boards pretty badly. So I don't want to be fixing a whole bunch of walls, because I've got this wall to replace anyway, and this one I still have ones to do in the south. So I'm going to pull these bales off, stack the bottom ones over there to dry out, and put the top ones over here to be used as bedding first and foremost. So, and meanwhile, speaking about me having two of me, man, I can do without this buggering gearbox. Liam's over there gripping bales. Yahoo! Yeah. Getting there. All the bottom bales are sitting here to drain and dry. Yeah, one of the top bales was snagged on the top rail with the net wrap. So when I went to back away, and of course the whole tractor is leaning that way because there's a ditch that runs along here, and the little green tractor that is. Yeah, just grabbed it on that little bit better and pulled that whole board out. So there'll be a few little repairs to do. Yeah. Yeah, you can see the marks where she was leaning on that wall pretty hard. She's all done. That row's sitting there. That'll get used for the first bedding of the year. Lay it down a big thick mat when we're processing calves. There's some along this wall still to take down. This will all be to wrap with the new bales, as well as that wall. Oh, Mother Nature, an inch and a half of rain. Could have done with half of that. Honest to gosh. Anyway, one look at gift horse in the mouth. Apparently that's the saying. Gotta go with it. Get these boys moved. See, they're laying there on their old hay, so we'll get them a new bale and shut them out of here. Look at that, playing poker and smoking cigars. Goons. So, I'm gonna head in, have a shower. Hey, we'll see you all tomorrow in the next episode. Thanks for watching, everybody. Yeah, Liam was having fun with the new boots on the old rig. Yeah, it is funny. We can get this thing up to 50k quite nicely now without the tires hopping. So it must have been the broken sidewalls on the old tires. And yes, I have the heater turned on in here. That's crazy. Anyway, tidy bye everybody. $13,000. That's what that says.